Hi, Taiwo. How are you doing today?
I'm very good, sir. And you, how are you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm very well. It's good to see your face.
It is actually awesome to see your face too, sir. And yeah, thank you very much for honoring our invitation. It means a lot for me to learn about the Insightpreneur Planning Committee and yeah, the audience too.
You're welcome, Taiwo.
All right, sir. Before me, the motivator take over the stage, I would like to read his biography. The motivator is a writer, business consultant, and leadership coach. He is the managing director of Bispota, a tech company building Africa's first integrated business solution portal, and also the chief strategist for Genius Brand and Media Enterprises, a company that offers digital business solutions to individuals and organizations. A youth development advocate who has positively impacted many young people. The Motivator is a president and founder, Motivator International Development Organization, an organization that is committed to empowering young people in leadership and entrepreneurship through innovative development solutions. He's passionate about helping individuals and organizations maximize their capacity through the transformational power of knowledge. Chijindi graduated from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and was later awarded a scholarship to the Leadership Change Program of the University of Cambridge. He is an associate fellow of Royal Commonwealth Society and a recipient of the Queen's Young Leaders Award. That is awesome. Uh, okay, so before I actually leave the screen, I will like Mr. Chijindu to share within a minute or two why the audience should listen to him tonight.
Well, thank you very much, Taiwo and the Insightpreneur team and our fantastic listeners tonight. It is my pleasure to come to you. My name, like you mentioned, is Chijindi Umunakwe. My friends call me CJ, and my very good friends call me the Motivator. And if you call me the Motivator, you get a special gift from me, depending on how the day is going. Um, it is a beautiful thing. For me, I have been in the journey of empowering people. I've been in the journey of transforming minds, engineering solutions for people, both individuals and organizations. I've worked with top organizations, I've worked with top individuals, I've helped them gain solutions, transform their lives, transform their businesses. And well, want to talk about world here and there, but right now we are building sustainable solutions for bridging the skill gap in Nigeria and Africa, as well as generating business solutions for over 10 million MSMEs across Africa. Quite a lot of things, and I'm sure that tonight we will be sharing from how far we've come and perhaps inspire one or two persons to begin to do something different from what you're doing or to step up your game from where you are presently. So, Taiwo, does that do justice to it?
That is what what I was expecting. And yeah, thank you very much. So guys, if I had the opportunity 5 years ago, I would have made this session. So please grab it with all your hands.
All right, everyone. Good evening once again, and thank you for joining us. So today we're going to be looking at life slash business coach. How do you build a career as one? Building a successful career as a life or business coach. So a lot of people wonder, what does a life coach do? And what does a business coach do? Are they the same? What is the difference? And who can be a life coach? What does it take for one to become a life coach? What kind of opportunities can someone have as a life coach? So these are some of the things we're going to be looking at tonight. And then starting from the keywords we have tonight, life slash business coach. Who is a life coach? A life coach is someone who enables another person or a group of persons to set goals, meet their goals, to transform themselves personally, to achieve whatever they have set, to achieve whether personal goals or career goals. But a business coach is someone who helps whether an individual, group of persons, or a business to accomplish business objectives. So the key difference there is the fact that while a life coach is a bit more personal in whatever goals you have that's pertaining to your person, your career, a business coach is more inclined to helping you achieve your business objectives. So these are, they do practically something very close, but the difference is that a life coach is a bit more personal, while a business coach is more inclined to helping you succeed in your business. Now, who is the person that needs a life coach? I bet you everyone does need a life coach. And most amazing people, most high achievers that they have life coaches. And what do life coaches help them do? Help them align their purpose, help them remain accountable, help them get focused on what really matters. I'm sure you must have seen a lot of people, or even known someone, or even yourself that is listening to me tonight. You might have come in contact with people who have a lot of issues with procrastination. They know how to do things, but they find it difficult doing those things that they know. Now, such a person can get a life coach, and a life coach helps them to transform their plans, help them to remain accountable, help them to stick to, remain consistent on their goals without procrastinating. And then when you see someone who did not have a life coach a year ago, after a year, the transformation is usually phenomenal because now the person has an accountability partner. The person has someone that pushes and nudges him or her to accomplish his or her goals. Uh, the difference between a lot of high achievers and people who are very much average can actually be a life coach, can actually be someone midwifing you between the things that you know and don't do and the things that you know and actually do. So that can go a long way in differentiating your results. So, what does a business coach do? A business coach can help you in different aspects, can help different objectives depending on where you are in your business, can help you in your marketing goals, in your staffing goals, in your organizational structure, in corporate governance, in branding, depending on what your goal at that point is. But the most important thing that a coach does is that guides a coach guides you through the knowledge he or she has into the path that you want to go. Now, does it mean that life coaches know everything? Of course not. Life coaches do not know everything, but they are operating in a knowledge economy. What that means is that life coaches are people who have a lot to offer in terms of knowledge. Life coaches are people who have a lot to offer. So you are usually seen as an expert in whatever it is that you are coaching. That is why when you have a football coach, it is someone who has great experience in football. If you have a coach in basketball, it is someone who understands the rudiments of basketball and is able to teach, understands the nitty gritty of the game, and understands how to disrupt it and how to make it work in the favor of the team and how to manage the talent. Now, it is not so different from what a life coach does or what a business coach does. What the person does is to look at where you are, do an audit of your moments or your goals, and then help you align your goals and your business objectives according to what your own vision and goals are. If it were just you'd probably be relaxed. You might not necessarily push yourself to where you really should be or where you have the capability of being. But a life coach guides you, mentors you, supports you, and enables you to push towards whatever goal that you have. So, another thing why you need a life coach is because a coach basically can help you triple your productivity, even 10x your income. Whatever your goals are, a coach can help you can guide you along that path. Who are the kind of people that have coaches? There are many international people, most international people that you hear about, most of them have coaches in one way or the other. Whether you are in writing, whether you're in speaking, whether you are in business, whatever it is that you do, you actually need a coach. And what a coach does is to say, okay, guide you, look at what kind of template do you have for the goals that you're setting, for the future that you're planning. These goals, a coach is basically someone that guides you to create a blueprint and to walk you along the path of that blueprint and hold you accountable on that path. So basically, this sets the stage for the conversation we have tonight in terms of who a life coach is and what a coach does. So I will be alternating it between life coach and business coach because generally that's what our talk today is about. But for me, I started my journey as a coach, as a student while I was at the university. And when we started, I that was where I started running the student group known as Motivators International. The goal was to empower our fellow students, was to build up their skill set beyond just education, beyond just whatever they are going to get as students, but for them to be, all round excellent, for them to have the capacity to transform their lives, to be great in business, to be great in life generally. So what we trained our fellow students at the time, we trained them in public speaking, critical thinking, innovation, a whole lot of things. And for most of the people who were part of our programs, their minds were so stretched, and most of them can be found in different parts of the world and in reputable companies today. I have been privileged to coach very amazing individuals. I have, I worked as head of corporate communications at Gotney Leadership Center, and at Gotney Leadership Center, I coached personally a lot of people in the public speaking classes. I coached a lot of people in the leadership programs, the master class, and different programs that we run there. So basically, we had captains of industries, we had directors, we had very top individuals coming to the center to transform their leadership potentials and their leadership capital. For us, we realized that what was the center of transformation was knowledge. Knowledge was behind the transformation that we were engineering in people. And we could see that most people who come into our center, into the Gotney Leadership Center at the time, after the program that they go through, you realize that they are transformed. They become better persons emotionally, they become better persons in their leadership wise, they become better persons in the way that they present themselves. So coming back to why a coach is important in your life is because a coach, whether he or she, can help you transform your goals, transform your impact, and look at areas that you're not doing so well and help you fine-tune them for higher productivity. So let's look at who needs a life coach. Everyone, like I said earlier, everyone. I need a life coach. I do have a coach, someone that helps me stay committed to my goals. Because after working in a number of organizations, we began to focus our attention in building a platform that would bridge the skill gap in Nigeria and Africa. So for me, I'm going to share about this later, what we are doing with our company called Beast Porter, where we are right now, and even the opportunities for people who want to become life coaches, who want to become mentors on our platform. We are creating something exciting for not just myself, not just for a select few, but as many people as have something to offer. Now, this brings me to my next point. Who can be a life coach? Do you just wake up and become a life coach? The answer is no. Life coaches are people who have a level of experience, a level of knowledge that can disrupt something, that can change something. So, what it means is that there's usually an expertise that a coach has, and that is why he or she has the name a coach. And it is that expertise that that coach is able to use to engineer a transformation in an individual, to engineer a transformation in a business. Now, if you don't have any form of experience, any form of knowledge, what are you going to coach with? You're going to look like a joke, and you don't want any of that. You want to be emphatic about your impact, you want to be firm about the kind of results you can create, and you want, of course, testimonials. Because what differentiates a coach from another is what one coach has done that the other is still dreaming about. If you mention top coaches in football, there are names that once you mention them, you say, "Oh wow, fantastic coach." When you mention someone like a Jose Mourinho, um, you remember him for times he was in Chelsea and he was in Porto and a lot of other top clubs he's coached. If you mention maybe the Man City coach, most of the big names, you would connect them with the fact that they have results and they have the capability of pushing their players to maximum productivity. They know how to disrupt the games. They know how to play a particular kind of game to get results. Now, in like manner, a life coach, if you are going to become one, whether life coach or business coach, you must be someone that is a voracious reader. You must be someone that deals on knowledge. And I bet you, in our present economy, knowledge is the new gold. Knowledge is the new gold. And I can tell you that if you look at the world today, you realize that you can find oil, you know, in the ground, deep down in the ground. When they begin to mine oil, it is way deep in the ground. So they mine it, bring it up. But I can tell you for free that more gold, more wealth has been mined from the mind of men than from the earth. More gold, more resources has been mined from the mind of men than from the earth. So I can tell you for free that if you invest in yourself, invest in knowledge, you can transform the results that you have ever experienced before. So that is why knowledge has become the new gold. And if you really want any form of investment that can endure, that can give you more than 10x of your investment, then invest in knowledge, invest in capacity building, because that is the only kind of investment that continues to multiply time and time again. And as you become better, it rubs off on the people around you. So even if you do not plan to be a coach, um, by and large, you realize that the people around you begin to see you as a better person, begin to emulate you because you are living a legacy. You are living a life that is worthy of emulation. So the truth of the matter is that anybody who desires to be a coach must be someone who is hungry for knowledge, must be someone who is a voracious reader, must be someone who is an avid learner. An avid learner is someone who is constantly invested in learning something new, who realizes that the largest room you can ever have in the world is the room for improvement. So even if you're a great achiever, you can improve your goals, you can improve your standards, you can improve your writing, you can improve your speaking. There is nothing you can't improve on. When I began my public speaking journey, what I did was what I will talk to you next about, which is called benchmarking. I began to benchmark my training or my skill with the best in the industry. So what I had to do was I downloaded videos of former President of America, Barack Obama, and I downloaded his videos and even the videos of his wife because of course. Sorry for that break. So I got all the videos put together and I began to watch it. I began to understand it. I began to study every form of material that I could lay my hands on. And what happened gradually, the fear that I had when I addressed the public, it fizzled out. The doubt that I had in myself disappeared and it was replaced by self-confidence. Now all of these things was because I was highly intentional about my journey because I started very early as a student at the university and I began to build myself to the point that I began to build other people and then um, we are lucky enough, so to say, to have won an award from the Queen's Young Leaders, from the Queen of England, the late Queen of England, yeah, which was the Queen's Young Leaders program, and then had a lot of fantastic opportunities and all that. but the journey started from way back at the university. So the truth of the matter is that if you want to be a life coach, any one of you listening to me, first of all, you must decide what it is that you have enormous knowledge in. Where can you build knowledge, a knowledge body, a body of knowledge? Where have you been able to build your largest body of knowledge? Is it in fashion? You can become a fashion coach or a style advocate. You can become a public speaking coach. You can become a mindset coach. You can become a relationship coach. And can I tell you something? You realize that most of the things that you know can be converted into wealth. Most of the knowledge that you have can be converted into wealth when you transform it into something that people can buy, which is going to bring me to the next topic. How do you create products out of your knowledge? How do you create products out of your knowledge? So I'm going to try to put all of the conversations into a structure that can help us understand, especially for us to take action and see if being a life coach or a business coach is for you, or if you need a lot more work before you can get into the space to become a life coach or a business coach. You don't just jump into the market to say, hey, I want to be a life coach, I want to be a business coach. You're going to have a problem because you do not have enough knowledge yet to get into the space. So, what do you do? Be more intentional about learning, be more intentional about expanding your capacity, be more intentional about understanding the power of knowledge to cause changes. And then you need to look at what do you have much knowledge in? Where have you built your body of knowledge? When you look at it effectively or holistically, you'll be able to find out a niche for yourself. So you do not need to be everything to everybody. That is not going to help you to niche down or to make real profit when it comes to coaching. You have to find what is it that works for you. You can decide to be a leadership coach. You can decide to be a mindset coach, helping people, expand their mindset, empower their mindset, understand the power of their minds. You can do that. And then you can help people, by being a relationship coach. A lot of people are going through relationship challenges. If you see or notice that you have an enormous knowledge or interest in the area of relationship, you can become a relationship coach. And what that means is that you must invest enormous amounts of hours in reading, in understanding the space of relationship. If you want to be, for instance, a business coach or a finance coach, or let's say under business coach, you can have a sales coach, someone who is focused on sales alone, helping individuals and organizations maximize their sales. That is a critical sector that many people will pay thousands of dollars to listen to you if you have enough to share, if you have broad knowledge to offer in that category. So it is left for you to ask yourself, where am I right now? Do I have the capacity to be a coach? Do I have all it takes, or do I need to, immerse myself in further study? One of the things that helped me was that I had to go learn from the best in the industry where I was going to operate. So I already shared with us that I started my journey as a coach as a student, and when I graduated as a student, I began to intern in an organization, and gradually I moved across a number of organizations, and then I began to work with Dr. Linus Okorie, who started, Gotney Leadership Center. So that was where I, grew to become the head of corporate communications, and then learned a whole lot. So for me, my knowledge of being a coach, my life coaching journey started from my time as a student and then graduated into me learning from the best in the space. And I can tell you, I was running my own company before I paused to go learn from Dr. Linus Okorie, because I knew that I needed a platform that was bigger than the one I had. I needed a body of knowledge that could unleash my capacity to be a global, citizen, or to make global impact. And that was exactly what that helped me achieve. So for about 4 years, I was completely invested in working with Dr. Lion Sokore. And that transformed my capacity, transformed my result, and helped sharpen my ability to impact my world. So it is not about the money as it is about the impact. When you want to become a coach, whether it's a life coach or a business coach, it is not about the money as it is about the impact. Naturally, if you're offering impact, money will always come to you. When you're offering impact, when you're offering value, money will always come to you. What does that mean? What it means is that when you are someone that creates value, value will always return to you. So value cannot be destroyed. Value once created cannot be destroyed, but can only be transformed from one form to another. So it's like energy. And luckily for us, we live in a world of massive opportunities. We live in a democratized world. Internet has made the world highly democratized. Now, if you're a coach with tremendous capacity, tremendous knowledge, it is very easy for it to show. I don't know someone that can effectively impact their world. You don't need to look too far. Just perhaps check their LinkedIn page, check their Facebook page, check their Instagram page. You can easily see what kind of resource are they putting out, what kind of value are they offering. One of the things that differentiates coaches is the fact that they offer value, tangible value to a number of people, and that value, when they have mastered it as themselves, they become an embodiment of what they are offering, and then they begin to productify the knowledge that they have acquired. And it is that product that they now begin to offer to the public. Now we are on a journey in this conversation from who you need to be, who is a life coach, who do you need to be as a life coach, and then we are coming to how do life coaches make money? How can you succeed as a life coach? Which is something that a lot of people struggle with. For you to succeed as a life coach, you must first of all understand what your message is. And that message is connected to the kind of knowledge that you've built up over the years or the kind of impact you want to create in the market. I have talked about it for someone that want to be a relationship coach, that wants to be a leadership coach. So whatever it is that you want to be, you must to an extent have acquired a level of in-depth knowledge in that field. For you to become an effective life coach or business coach, do you necessarily need a certification? The answer is no. You do not necessarily need a certification, but it is beneficial for you to have a certification. It is very possible for you to be a great coach without necessarily having a coaching certification. Now, that is not to say that coaching certification is not great. It's absolutely fantastic. There are many global organizations that offer certifications in coaching, but impact is not about paper. Impact is not about qualification. Impact is about results. For you to be a great coach, you must be able to generate value for the people that you're coaching. So if you say that you're a sales coach, how much transformation can you bring to someone's sales? If you get into a company, can you dissect what their challenge is in terms of sales, and can you perhaps triple their income or perhaps 10x their sales in a given period of time? That's what it means to be a coach. You have the techniques and you can help deploy those techniques in a given space or with an individual. So what this means is that for you to be a successful coach, you must be able to first of all acquire tremendous knowledge in the area you want to coach, and then be able to calibrate that knowledge into products that you can offer your clients. When you begin to, in your journey as a coach, you will now look at what kind of packages can you offer your clients. As a leadership coach, you probably need to look at areas of leadership that people are having issues in. Maybe someone is having issues in public speaking. And of course, public speaking is a very critical part of leadership. There is no great leader that is not faced with the challenge of speaking in public at one point or the other. Communications is a very critical asset of every leader. Now, if you want to be a leadership coach, perhaps you want to focus on communications, you want to focus on public speaking. You want, by the time you look at all of those things, then you would have to calibrate your product. Maybe while I was at Gartney, we had a product that was called Leadership Masterclass, and currently that course sells for 500,000 naira. There is also a course that is masterclass in public speaking. It's called Public Speaking Masterclass. So that is a leadership center, and they offer every knowledge that you need to gain in leadership, and that's the core focus for them. And when people go through the public speaking programs, even though it's expensive, they realize that, oh wow, this is amazing. Their lives are changed. So for me, I offer certain executive coaching programs that help top executives 10x their income, that helps top executives transform their results, and that helps them look at their business solutions and dissect it and perhaps find better strategies to make sustainable profit. There are lots of businesses today that are simply they are plateaued. They are just on a particular level. They have gone up and they can't go beyond a particular threshold. And with a coach, you can effectively dissect where you are as a business and begin to look at what are the opportunities that lie there for you. As an individual, if you have grown to a particular point, you probably need a coach to say, okay, look, this is what my goal is. I need to make this amount of progress, but I don't know how to. I need a guide. So a coach is a guide. Perhaps you want to get a job. In an age where there are lots of remote jobs, you can get different kind of jobs in different parts of the world and do it without leaving the shores of your country. You may need a coach to help you get a remote job. And the person that you need to get is someone that will help guide you, fine-tune your CV, help you understand how to do interviews, help you shape yourself, and put you in the right pedestal to get the kind of job you're looking for. As a parent, you probably might need a coach for your children because children have multiple talents. But if you have coaches that help fine-tune them, depending on where their giftings lie, you will end up becoming a great parent because you understand that coaching is a big deal. But the reason that many people do not maximize their ability is because they undermine something as simple as coaching, because they don't understand that there are people who have gone ahead of you who look like where you're going to, that the best shortcut you need to embrace is connecting with them or paying for perhaps a coaching program. Now, I'm going to tell you a very personal story. There is a particular woman I started coaching somewhere around 2001. 2021. That was last year. So she runs the biggest orphanage in Africa, and I started coaching her somewhere last year. And then it was on public speaking. From public speaking, it was in business coaching. So now I coach her in a lot of things based on the business that she's running. And it has been absolutely phenomenal. And even at some point, we are helping her raise funds for her business. But it has been from one phase to another. It has been a journey, helping fine tune, put this in place, put this together, and how helping her create sustainability in her business. So that is one out of the people that I've been able to coach. There are managers that have been able to train and help them become more productive within their organizations. And it is the experiences I've gathered so far that we are using to build a company called Biz Portal, where we have opportunities for different coaches and mentors to come host their own coaching programs and put a price tag to it. So if you're someone that is very interested in coaching, you might want to reach out to me later on because our product is about to be launched. And you might just have the opportunity to launch your coaching program with us. Now, for me, this is my passion because I did not just want to be a coach. I wanted to create a platform where other coaches or people who have knowledge, institutions can come bring their resources and educate a massive number of people. Why did we decide to do this? Because we realized that the massive skill gap in Nigeria and Africa is undermining the capacity of young people to operate in the digital economy. According to international, I think it is IMF, I think, that gave that statistic that says more than by 2030, more than 200 million jobs across Africa. I'm not sure exactly the numbers now, but a large amount of jobs will be created in about 2030. But there will be such a massive skill gap that we need to equip a lot of people to be able to embrace that. So for us, we realized that for us to embrace, for us to operate in that space, we did not just want to be, I did not just want to be a coach that will help people. I wanted to be a coach that will create a structure to help other coaches succeed. So if you're listening to me and you're asking whether life coaching is for you, perhaps you want to give it a try. But first of all, you must ask yourself, what area would I like to focus on? Because becoming a person of tremendous impact often comes with tremendous focus in a particular area and strengthening your capacity in that. Let's say, how do you understand your audience? Because of course your message is your particular audience, and when you have created a product out of your knowledge, you must be able to market that to a given audience. Okay, before I go into the audience, which is your market, let me dwell a bit more on your product. Your product is where you begin to calibrate all of that knowledge that you have into a structured product that you can offer people and they can pay for it. What happens is that when people do not understand the power of coaching, they will price themselves down. And when they price themselves down, they are not able to maximize opportunities in the coaching space. When I was working at the Gotney Leadership Center, Dr. Linus, being someone that has been in the space, someone that has a very strong name in the industry, he charges about 1.5 million for a personal coaching time with him. For a 2-day, 3-day coaching program, you pay 1.5 million. So currently, I charge between 300 and 500,000 for a 1-week coaching program. So it depends on what your own planning is, what your own structure is. You can decide what you want to do based on your experiences, based on the kind of results that you can help your clients achieve. So at the end of the day, it is your own structure. But basically, you want to have a product that is calibrated across a number of months. And then you need to focus more on the value than you focus on the money. Don't get me wrong, the money is absolutely important, but it is not more important than the value you're creating. Because if you focus only on on the money, you're going to end up chasing after the money and not giving tremendous impact to your clients. And that is going to affect your bottom line, and you don't want that. Naturally, when you are able to offer value to one person, the one person you offer value is going to connect to another person you're offering value, and that person is going to is like a web of people telling your story because you help their lives change, because you help their businesses succeed. So it is your value that will speak for you. So do not be afraid. So let me come to creating your product before I come to looking at your market. When you look at your product, you probably need to look at different levels of people, different categories, and then you need to look at different kinds of market. There are people who are the high end, and there is perhaps the very basic package that you can have. That basic package might be like a month's coaching program. And then you say, okay, for a coaching program such as this, you're going to get A, B, C, D. You're going to get, be very specific about the kind of value you're creating. And then maybe you can have 3 categories. One category can be like maybe the bronze edition or the basic, and then the next one is maybe something like premium, and then the other one is platinum. Whatever maybe you want to give it, but you might want to just categorize it into 3, so that the first one is like the basic. You might want to charge, let's say, depending on where you are, whether you are a newbie or intermediate or an expert coach, you might want to start maybe 250,000 naira, depending on where you are. You might want to charge 500,000 naira or 1 million, depending on where you are and depending on what value you're creating. But I can bet you, if you're starting, which of course I am talking to a number of people who are starting, who are intermediate, you want to focus more on having something that is in between in what the industry obtains, and then looking at the kind of value you can give. And then, of course, you need to, as a matter of urgency, have like three, so that you have those you sell to the high end, because there are individuals who, for you to coach them, you must be able to be within a particular, um, let's say, have a particular kind of product range in terms of pricing, especially pricing, because there are people who, when, especially high end people, they want to see you price premium, and they want to see you be at your A level for them to effectively work with you. Some of the premium people, the A level people that want coaches, might look for certification. So if you're just starting out in your space, you might look at the people, even start out with your friends. You might start out with offering key values. And another place to start out in offering your value is especially your social media pages. If you have Twitter, if you have LinkedIn, constantly offer those values for free. And then if you can begin to create a funnel into people subscribing to your channel, people subscribing to your newsletter, people subscribing, following you, so that at the end of the day, you become a thought leader that, of course, you can use your platform to begin to sell to the people that you want to sell to. Now, let's come to your audience. How do you get, after you've created your product, which of course can cut across whatever it is? If it is sales, you can help people multiply their sales. You can help people do better email marketing, because of course, even sales is absolutely broad. If you are a copywriting coach, there's a lot you can do in that area. If you are, it's broad. So it is left for you. So if you want to know more about some of the things I'm sharing tonight, you might want to get in touch with me personally. You might want to book a personal session. Of course, we are going to be able to extrapolate this further for you. But tonight, because of the Insightpreneur, we are getting all of this free of charge. And I want to, appreciate the team, fantastic team at Insightpreneur. You guys are doing a brilliant job. You guys are doing a brilliant job in what you're doing, creating this opportunity for a lot of people to learn. And I believe that lots of people will have their knowledge gap bridged tonight. And that is what we live to do. We live to engineer the minds of people to help them accomplish all they're meant to accomplish, to help them unleash their inner Einstein. If you want to unleash your inner Einstein, you might want to get in touch with me later on after this program. So let me come back to the audience. When you have created your product, you have said, okay, product A is going to charge XYZ. Product B is going to charge XYZ. Product C is going to charge XYZ. You've created a portfolio. When you finish creating your portfolio, you have to offer this set of products to different kinds of people. You can offer one category to maybe students who don't have much buying power, but they can, when you offer them a low cost product, they can be the people that will put your name out there and sell your product more than you can ever imagine. And you can even have a kind of trade by barter bargain with people who can effectively pay for your product. When you offer them value, they will offer you publicity in return. When you have, if you really do have the value, you might want to start with 10 of your close friends, and they are going to look you in the face to say, bring all the challenges they have in that particular area. And then if you are able to make an impact even among people who know you, then you have an opportunity among people who don't even know you. So you can start with offering a freemium. Of course, freemium, for some of you that know it already, and for those that don't know it, is a product that you offer for free, but in exchange for some kind of value. And most businesses usually enter into the market with freemium, so that people are invested in it, they see the value, and I bet you value is very, very addictive. Value is addictive. Usually, when you begin to connect with value, you don't want to let go of it. That is why companies do not want to let go of individuals who are bringing value. That is why individuals do not want to let go of their friends who are bringing value. Basically, value is addictive. If you are a person of value, everyone would want to connect with you in one way or the other. So I bet you there are opportunities out there if you can build up your capacity to engage, because you people first of all will buy into you before they will buy into what you're offering. People will first of all buy into you before they can buy into what you're offering. So for people that want to become life coaches and business coaches, you have a long hurdle to cross. The long hurdle you have to cross is the fact that you yourself have to look the path. You yourself have to build yourself up in a way that people can look up to you. They can see what you're saying in what you're doing. So you must be the first partaker in your knowledge, the first beneficiary in what you're preaching, in what you're teaching. So the knowledge that you have must always put you on your toes to perform. And that is why it is even an amazing thing to be a life coach, because you are always getting knowledge, and in the bid to help others, you are always helping yourself to grow and to become better. Now, we have not finished our conversation on your market. We are currently talking about how to get your market, because if you want to get your first set of market, you might want to start with people who are closest to you. You might want to start with a social media page. You might want to start with places where you can offer this value for free. And then in exchange, they might subscribe to perhaps a newsletter. They can subscribe to your page. They can subscribe to your channel, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, they are connected to you. And then you keep exchanging values. And some of these people will become the first set of people who will purchase what you're selling. The other thing you need to do is that you need to advertise your product. So when you push your product out there, you will fearlessly, continue to talk about what you're selling, because there's never an end to selling. Every life coach must be able to sell. Every business coach must be able to sell. So if you don't sell effectively, you won't be able to get enough people to pay for the product you've created, and you won't be able to maximize profits. So when you finish talking about your market, you need to now look at how do you sustain profitability? How do you go beyond creating a product, creating a market, to now being prosperous in that field? So that is the next level where people begin to thrive. And that's why I talked about partitioning or categorizing the product that you offer in a way that you don't just offer one size fits it all product. You offer a product that different kinds of people can buy. Now, if you're looking at the market, there are people that have buying power, and there are people that don't have much buying power. You want to give the higher, the premium products that are premium priced to people who can pay the premium price. All right? But you want to give the basic ones to people who can necessarily pay for it, but in exchange, they can offer you some kind of value in return. So it is up to you, but I can bet you that there is a market for your product. There is a market for your product. As long as you don't doubt yourself, as long as you're good in what you're doing, there is a market for you. Recently, it was announced that the world has just hit 1 billion people. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about 1 billion people. Do you know what it means? That the world is made up of, we have about, 8 billion people, rather, 8 billion people in the world. That's crazy. Do you know what that means? It means that your capacity to reach people is incredible. Is incredible. And then we live in an age and era of digital technology where you can stay in your own country and market to people in Brazil, market to the people in the UK, market to people in the US. So at the end of the day, we are living in a world of stiff competition because the walls of the business world has been broken by technology. The walls of the business world has been broken by technology. So, because of how democratized knowledge is, if you are absolutely good at what you do, people are going to see you. People are going to talk about you. You can't hide. as long as you're putting your content out there, as long as you have structured your program in a way that you're offering value, I bet you people will definitely gravitate towards what you're offering. So we'll begin to look at other key things, that I have for our conversations tonight. And one of those things is, what are the things that you need within your toolkit as a life coach or a business coach? I have mentioned a number of them in the course of our conversation tonight. I have talked about creating your product and finding a market for it. So if you are getting ready, when you start getting ready to start your course or your plan or your product, your coaching product, you must first of all package your person to look like someone that has the capacity to help people, someone that has capacity to help people. So it is absolutely important for you as a person to get your acts together in the area where you're coaching a lot of people. Now, this should not scare you because it does not mean that life coaches or business coaches know everything. No, they don't. The thing is that they are people who have the capacity, the technical know-how to help other people navigate their path towards success. So when you have finished creating your product, when you have finished creating your market, you now begin to look towards profitability and sustainability in your coaching program. There is the part when you go from coaching individuals to coaching groups of persons, and then having individuals subscribe to your coaching program, and perhaps starting a website to help more people connect. But one of the things you need to realize as someone who wants to be a coach is that your time matters. Your time matters. And of course, what you're offering is a component of your time, and time is the SI unit of impact. Time is the SI unit of greatness. If you do not effectively quantify your time, you're going to be a coach that has nothing to show from your wealth of experience. Now, this brings me to the part of pricing. Brings me to the part of pricing. How do you want to price yourself as a life coach or a business coach? You want to price yourself, first of all, based on what kind of value are you offering? How quantifiable is that value? When you think about pricing your product, you must look at long term, not just to say, okay, my 1 hour is worth $10, depending on whatever it is that you charge or based on. So let me give you an idea. If you want to make say $100,000 in coaching in a year, you probably want to look at how much hours are you willing to commit in a week. So if you are committing perhaps 40 hours in coaching people, and you want to break that down, I mean, every week you're committing 40 hours per week. So when you calculate that, you're going to have 40 that you commit per week times 4 weeks, which is what you have in a month. So that's like 40 times 4. And then you calculate it based times 12, which gives you the number of weeks you have in a year. And then if you are targeting to say make if it's $100,000 for instance, you divide what you get by 100 by by you divide 100,000 by what you get. So you get something around $50 per hour, which of course will help you price yourself effectively. But that is not to say that once you get in as a starting coach, then you're going to blow up the market with price. Of course, you're not going to get anybody to sign up. That is why it's important to start small, but have a great clarity on where you are headed with your life coaching program or your business coaching program. But you really want to start small, but devote your time more to learning and growing. One of my mentors is someone called Mr. Ugochukwu Omeogu. You can Google him. I call him the super mentor. Fantastic guy. Fantastic guy. One of the books that he recommended for me to buy is a book titled Beyond Ideas. At the time he gave me this book, I was blazing hot with This particular our company, our biz portal, it was an idea at the time. But then, while I was in his coaching program, he recommended a book called Beyond Ideas. So that book blew my mind because I realized that most of what we have as ideas, for it to become a product, it goes beyond the ideas that you have. That is why, even if you share a great idea that you have with someone, they can never execute it exactly as you would execute it, as long as you're able to put in the kind of work needed. And every great product, there is tremendous work behind it. What I learned from that book he gave me went beyond what he thought in the class that I was part of. But I maybe wouldn't have bought that book if I didn't have a coach. What does this mean? There is the distance between you, where you are and where you need to be, could be a book, and perhaps a coach might recommend it, and it could even be a coach. So at the end of the day, you want to be able to set goals and ask yourself, what exactly do I need in the now of my life? And I bet you a coach might be one of the things that can change your result in 2023. And I'm happy that the Insightpreneur team, you guys are putting this together towards the end of the year. So it is easier for individuals to calibrate how far they've come in 2022 and be able to set better goals as 2023 is approaching. As I begin to wrap up my thoughts tonight, I can tell you that you are an amazing individual. You are a very powerful personality. But how can you transform what you know now into wealth, into a product that persons can buy? A lot of people second guess themselves. A lot of people who want to become life coaches and business coaches, they second guess themselves. Oh, am I even good enough? Maybe I need to know more. Maybe I need to this. Maybe I need to that. Can I tell you something? There are people who are doing much more with what you have presently than you can ever imagine. There are people that are transforming the world with more, with in fact, with less than what you currently have. There are people who are changing their world, but what they have present is not even up to what you have. But because you don't understand that you can actually start with what you have and start selling your skills and start putting yourself out there, you are not maximizing your capacity. And maybe you don't even know that you presently know a lot that you can begin to sell in very specific niches that can begin to bring you a whole lot. And if you are someone listening to me tonight and you don't think that you are there yet, that it's not time for you to become a life coach yet, it's not time for you, they have a lot of growing to do, you are also right. So, what this means is that you have realized where you are presently and you're willing to grow. And that realization is alone is a sign of progress. So I can tell you for free that there are lots of opportunities in life coaching and business coaching. But the truth of the matter is that this space is for people who have capacity, who can actually generate results. Because people would, at the end of the day, look back at the program. As I begin to wrap up, I know that we will probably have questions, and I'm willing to entertain those questions tonight. And yeah, Taiwo, are you there?
Yeah, thank you very much for the great insights. And honestly, I got overwhelmed jotting too much things down. Um, and yeah, I didn't believe that we are getting this for free. Thank you very much, the motivator. This is awesome. So, guys, before we go into the question and answer session, I will quickly just brief what we've done so far. You guys will actually come for this. Okay. The motivator started with let us understand that there's a difference between life coach and the business coach. While life coach is more about you trying to be personal with you, business coach will be more uh, concerned about building your business with you, and then life and business coaches operate in knowledge. and then they guide you, they mentor you to achieve whatever goal you want to achieve. And Chijindu was fortunate to start his coaching career as a student, and later to ensure that it does not just deliver rubbish, but more values. He went far as interning with Dr. Okoye, who is somebody that people are looking forward to meeting in the future or even now. And yeah, what do you need or who need a life coach? Everybody. You need certificate to become a life coach. Not necessarily, but it can actually be helpful. But it is not the real big goal to be successful in the business. And who can be a life coach? You need a combination of your knowledge and expertise, experience to actually be a good life coach when you must deploy it in orbit. Chichindo, for example, is a big reader. He's a voracious giver. He started something like benchmarking, listening to other successful people to get their knowledge. And you don't have to say you are working towards the same thing. You can be a relationship coach, you can be a business coach, you can be a mindset coach, leadership coach, life coach, whatever that you have big knowledge or big deal of knowledge on. And yeah, monetizing your knowledge. There are platforms for that. Starts from basic or premium or share values on social media platforms, create email marketing funnels and the like, and so on and so forth. So, and yeah, in case you think there's no value for your product, there is actually a big and lot of markets for your product. So, let's just go straight to the questions. Okay, so we have a question here from Daniel, and he said, "Our contribution is the value that you're offering." No, this sounds like a good question. So, guys, we still have about 10. We actually have about 30 minutes if we have questions. So, please, if you have questions, kindly drop it now, and um, the motivator will be happy to provide the answer to you for free. I still can't believe that we're getting this for free, but
Yes,
well,
specifically for free, and that is why I am happy for what you guys are
yeah,
doing.
and also you made mention that people can get in touch with you after the session, and I don't know what platform you prefer people to reach you. Do you want Instagram, social media platforms, or other direct call?
Well, you can reach me on Instagram. You can reach me via direct call. You can reach me via email as well. So maybe if you want my email, you can ask. You can get it from the Insightpreneur. You can get it from Taiwo. If you want my Instagram handle, it is the motivator. You can as well, get it from Taiwo. So, but basically, when you Google my name, Chijindi Umunakwe, you can as well follow me on LinkedIn because occasionally I share a number of things that we are doing as a company and the things that I do as an individual as well on LinkedIn. So feel free to connect with me on any of those platforms. I've not been very in fact, I had to take a back seat for a while because I wanted to package my products in a way that it would become global standard. So I had to immerse myself in a whole lot of sessions and learning. And it is just of recent that I started putting myself out there again after doing a lot of work behind the scene. So, what I would advise people who that want to become life coaches, don't be too hasty to rush out there. Don't be too hasty to chase the money. When you don't have the value, you're going to have a problem because the people that get to coach, the people that you get to coach, might have a problem when they don't get enough value from you. So I would usually say spend time building yourself so that when you get out there, the value you're offering would be precise and will help individuals and organizations solve their problems.
Okay, and also during the presentation you said you talk about this portal a product or a platform that you are intending to launch, and for people who want to venture into coaching, do you mind probably providing more insights on this?
Okay, thank you for that. So we have a platform called Portal. It is a technology, is a tech company that bridges the skill gap in Nigeria and Africa. Yes, that is the site. But when you go there right now, you're not going to see the full thing because we haven't officially launched. But interestingly, we have our conference coming up on the 9th to 10th of December. It is an amazing conference, and the theme of that conference is reimagining Africa. Reimagining Africa, building human capital, building the human capital for exponential growth, because we want to see an Africa where our population can be transformed to something more productive than it is. You have a continent that has the highest number of young people in it, but most of those young people do not have enough capacity to leverage on the opportunities in the digital economy. So, what we are doing at BizPortal is to help individuals monetize their knowledge by teaching a lot of other people who don't have that knowledge. We are helping provide a platform for companies to come teach, whether it is agriculture or coding or whatever. But we do have a spectrum, of resources that we offer that you can, learn within these areas. And we have a number of things reimagining, not reimagine Africa, reimagining Africa. Yeah, that's the word. Reimagining Africa. So I'm sure that we would at some point work with Insightpreneur team to help to expand that the knowledge and the impact of that conference, because again, it is also free, but we are getting, of course, when 2023 comes, a whole lot of things are going to be paid for. But for now, you can get it for free. Yeah, so let's look at the
All right,
questions. Taiwo, which are
that
the
is
questions do we
awesome,
have?
and we will really be happy to work with you. Okay, we have a question from Danny Yakubu. What do I need to do as a student? How can I monetize my value to fellow students?
Hmm. This is absolutely beautiful and is also somehow tricky because you are a fellow student. And being a fellow student, people are going to look at you like, yeah, that's my fellow student. What does he want to teach me? Now, if you want to be a life coach as a student, first of all, you perhaps have to be different with your grades. Your grades must have to look the path for you to say you want to coach someone. Because you don't want to have really bad grades and you say you want to coach someone, they're going to say, hey, what do you want to coach me about? And you really don't want that. So you must be very good at what you do for you to say you're offering a coaching program. Now, the reason that I could offer that coaching program as a student was because I had trained myself a lot in public speaking. So I was coaching people in what I knew I was very good at. Okay, so it is important for you to find what you're very good at and then build that up before you can say you're offering that. But again, if you find something that you're very good at, don't be afraid to offer that value. Okay, if you are very good at maybe you're a straight A student, for instance. Let me use that as an example, because of course the primary goal of a student is to really acquire that knowledge and come out in flying colors. Now, if you have that capacity, you can begin to train people how to build their mindset, how to become is how to make get straight A's, how to do this, how to do that. So it is up to you to think about what you're good at, and then you can do a couple of free seminars. A couple of free seminars, you can now niche down that if they want to have a personal coaching with you, that you can do it in a month. This is what they get to pay, or you can do depending on what it is. But you must have to find out which area do you want to coach, which area do you have tremendous knowledge in, because coaching has to do with knowledge. It is an economy driven by knowledge. So it is important for you to have enough knowledge to be able to coach. So depending if you are, let me give you a typical example of what I'm saying. Okay. Now, if you are someone who is very, 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 very single, very single, right? And you want to coach someone about relationship, they probably want to ask, okay, tell me about like what where is your coaching program based? Is it based on your personal experience on the books that you read? So that becomes something that you need to answer. But that is also not to say that you stand no chance. The, the truth of the matter is what you I think my network got shaky a bit.
Yes, I don't know. Maybe it's yours or mine. I've been. Well, we can move on to Moses' question. What are the biggest challenges you face when while starting out as a coach, and how did you overcome them?
Okay, so one of the biggest challenges I encountered was getting clients. Getting clients was one of the challenges I encountered because I had spent an enormous amount of time building myself, learning, equipping myself, and all that. But then, after gathering all the knowledge, it was now time to really find my market, which became a bit of a problem. But then, I had worked in different places where I met different high profile individuals. So, what I did was I began to reach out to them and began to talk to them about what I could offer them. So, I basically created this product that I talked about and I began to reach out. And here's what happened. So this is where the challenge is. Some of them did not get back to me immediately, so it took some time. But then they eventually got back to me, and then some of them did not believe in me because I was a newbie. I was just starting out. But what made a difference for me was that the people that gave me an opportunity, I actually over delivered because I was going to give them way more value than they paid for because I was trying to justify myself in the field. So this was what made it tremendously easy for me. And then here's the amazing part of the story. When I started coaching these people, I went from coaching them to actually having more business opportunities with them because they saw that, oh wow, this guy is actually beyond just the life coach. He could do way more than that. And that opened more doors for me. So you must have to be patient when you create your product. You must have to be consistent with pushing your product out there. And don't be afraid to fine tune and find get something more sustainable, get something that the market needs more. But when you get into the market would validate your product and help you align to what really works. So for me, when I continued to refine what it is I was doing, that was how this portal was given birth to, because we wanted to have an amazing amount of impact, like a large scale impact in the whole of Africa, not just within a small niche. So that was why we created a platform where more people can have opportunities to become coaches, to teach, to earn from their knowledge, and then more businesses can succeed by what it is that we're doing.
All right. Thank you for that detailed answer. And yeah, we are looking forward to the launch of this portal. I myself. Okay, there's a question from Adi Addo Kolashade. Is there any similarity between a life coach and a mentor? And can a mentor double doubles as a life coach?
That's an interesting question, by the way. So there is a similarity. Okay, there's a similarity between a life coach and a mentor. Basically, a mentor is someone that is intricately involved with you. The person is invested in your progress. The person is so life coach is more of a business understanding or business arrangement, because this person is being paid. It's actually offering this value for a fee. The person is coaching you, maybe personal coaching, maybe helping you align your values. But a life coach is not of course not a therapist. Is not someone that is about your mental health and all of that. If you really want someone that is about your mental health and all that, you probably need a therapist. Someone that, if something is wrong with you emotionally and all that, not necessarily a life coach. Of course, you can get a life coach in a particular area. Okay, but I would suggest that you get a therapist if you have some kind of a mental challenge or emotional turmoil and all that. But basically, a life coach helps to align your purpose, align your goals, and expand your creativity. So basically, to make more out of your life, a coach helps you to accomplish more in your life. But a mentor is more like a guide. He mentors you along the way. A mentor, it is possible for a mentor to double as a life coach. It is possible for a mentor to double as a life coach, but I would advise that, there's something about mentorship. Mentorship is very close knit. It's more like a relationship. Anybody who is your mentor is someone who has a level of relationship, who is invested in your progress and works with you along the journey. But basically, a life coach is more like a business relationship you have with someone who is helping you reach your goal, who is helping calibrate your progress and holding you accountable to that. But it is very possible for um, a mentor to also double as your life coach. But you must be able to have that understanding that a life coach is more of a business relationship, and then someone that guides you, sets your goals and all that. But it is possible that someone who is your mentor can as well be your life coach. I hope I've been able to answer that your question. Ade Abu Folash Ade, yes.
Yeah, I believe so too. And I don't think we have any other question. And so far, 1.5 hours, 1 hour, 21 minutes gone so far. And everything is value packed without any fluff. Uh, Mr. Chijindu, I really appreciate your time, and thank you for the unique insight that you shared here. And before we probably end this session, is there something that you'd like to probably share?
Okay, well, one of the things I would love to share is, or rather, I'd love to say is a commendation. I would love to commend the team at Insightpreneur. You guys are doing a really great job. Keep it
Thank you very
up.
much, sir.
You're sharing fantastic insights, and then you're helping people grow. That is a really brilliant thing to do. So,
Thank
coming to the number of people who have listened in tonight, you are in an amazing place in your life right now. We are in an amazing place in this generation. Forget about what they talk about, the economy, the country, the this, the that. I can tell you something, right? There are two types of economy. The first one is your personal economy. The second one is the national economy of the country where you're living. You are very much responsible for your personal economy, but you may not necessarily be responsible for the national economy. Of course, you're not responsible for it. So the government has an influence on the economy of the country, but you are highly responsible for your own personal economy. Now that brings me to the part of what are you going to do with the skill set that you have? Do you even have a skill set? You can't possibly live in a nation and in a time like this without having a strong skill for which to engage with the world. If you were given a beautiful opportunity to coach people today, what would you coach them on? This should be a food for thought for everyone who is connected to me tonight. And you have any form of interest in becoming a life coach or a business coach, it is important for you to ask yourself, what exactly do I have enormous knowledge in? What do I have enormous interest in? And then begin to intentionally invest time and energy in that area. For me, it's been quite a journey, and I haven't even attained yet. It's been quite a journey, coming all the way from stopping at some point to journey into the part of internship. For me, it was more like an internship journey because at the time I started working with Dr. Lion Musikore, I had already won the Queen's Young Leaders Award through what we're doing with Motivators International, and I already completed the scholarship program with University of Cambridge. So you realize that for me, it's been a journey, and at the point where I paused to go work with Dr. Linus Okore, I did not really bother much about my own publicity, all of that. It's a journey, and then where we are now is a threshold. We are at a phase where at the launch pad to an African impact, to a global impact, and we are not in a haste. We want to have sustainable impact. So for you as a life coach or a business coach, you don't need to rush about the money when you're not quite ready. Spend time, build yourself so that when you set out to offer value, you can effectively quantify that value and then you can productify it. And when you finish productifying the value, you can effectively monetize the value. I hope you've been blessed. I hope you've been impacted. And then I look forward to connecting with you again pretty soon, whether personally or through, when we have our conference, the Bispota Global Entrepreneurship Conference holding on the 9th and the 10th of December. Amazing, amazing lineup of speakers. And by the way, Insightpreneur, I think you guys have an amazing lineup of speakers, made up of young, fantastic people. Keep it up, and I look forward to see you guys do more amazing things in the future.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. We are just following your path. All right. Have a great night, guys.
All right, thank you, and good night, everyone.
All right, nice, sir. All right, guys. Thank you for staying with us till this moment, and yeah, we have two sessions tomorrow also, and just find a way to connect with any of the Insights.ng accounts, maybe on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I don't know, or subscribe to this YouTube channel and you'll be notified. Click the notification button, you'll be notified any seconds that we go live. So we have our two sessions tomorrow, and then we end the entire Insightpreneur webinar on Sunday. So thank you for staying with us till this moment, and if you actually believe me, we love you.